The next algorithm is insertion sort. Insertion sort is a comparison based sorting algorithm which sorts the array by shifting elements one by one from an unsorted subarray to the sorted subarray. With each iteration, an element from the input is picked and inserts the sorted list in the correct location. In insertion sort, input data is divided into two subsections. The first section, that is sorted section, and the second section is unsorted section. The basic idea is with each iteration, one element from unsorted section is moved to the sorted section. And in this way, by the end of the iterations, all the elements will move to the sorted section and our input data gets sorted. Now let us see insertion sort algorithm. Step 1 is start. Step 2 is initialize the identifiers like array of some size 20, comma n for number of elements, comma I is for iterations, and temp is for storing the temporary data. Step 3, read n value and read elements in the array till I less than n. Next, step 4, if it is the first element, it is already sorted, then we need to return 1. Step 5, pick the next element. Step 6, compare with all elements in the sorted sublist. Step 7, shift all the elements in the sorted sublist that is greater than the value to be sorted. Step 8, insert the value in the given location. Step 9, repeat the steps until the list is getting sorted. The last step is stop. So these are the steps for insertion sort algorithm. Now let us see one example. In step 1, there are 12, 3, 1, 5, 8. So now, checking the second element of an array with element before it and inserting it in proper position. So in this case, 3 is inserted in the position of 12. 3 and 12 are interchanged as 12 is greater than 3. Now in the step 2, checking the third element of an array with elements before it and inserting it in the proper position. In this case, the first element is inserted in the third, that is the one element is inserted in the third location. Now the elements after this particular iteration is 1, 3, 12, 5, 8. Now checking with fourth element of an array with elements before it and inserting it into the proper position. So in this case, 5 is inserted in the position of 12. 5 is inserted in the position of 12. Step 4. 1, 3, 5, 12, 8. Now checking the fifth element of an array with elements before it and insert it in the proper position. In this case, 8 is inserted in the position 12. Now after the processing of these steps, the sorted array in the ascending order is 1, 3, 5, 8, 12. So these are the elements in the sorted order. This is about the insertion sort algorithm.
Let us see one example program.
The next problem statement: to sort the given list of elements in ascending order using insertion sort. The next technique is insertion sort. So for this, I am using one array to store the list of integers. N is to read the number of elements. I and j for two for loops for performing the logic, and as part of this program I don't require any index. I'll take a temporary variable. Now here, so this is how we are going to read the number of elements in the array, and this is how we are going to read the elements within array. This is the size of the array and these are the elements read in the array. And the logic for insertion sort is, for I equal to, so let me start this value from 0, I less than n, and I plus plus. So here within this for loop, I'm going to use another value of j equal to I, just a temporary value. I'm just storing it in j equal to I. Now within this, I'm processing with a while loop while j is greater than 0, and whatever the array within this, the j minus 1. So here we need to process not only from left to right, we should also process from right to left. So according to the logic of insertion sort, we are tracing the element from left to right, and we also check the element for the smallest element on the left hand side as well. So that is the reason why we are writing this particular logic. And if this condition, that is array of j minus 1, is greater than array of j, so this is a very important condition what we are going to write as part of our insertion sort. Now if you can see the elements what we need to sort, and here we need to write the logic for sorting, that is swapping logic. Temp equal to array of, so whatever the value of j, temp equal to array of j. Next, in array of j, I'm going to store the element of array of j minus 1. I'm going to store the array of j minus 1. Next, which the next field is empty, is array of j minus 1 is empty field. Array of j minus 1 equal to, what is the value where we have stored the original value? It is in temp. So this is what your actual logic, what we are going to write as part of this. And later, once we got these values, we also need to trace on the left hand side. That is the reason why here I need to also decrement and check with the previous values, right? The previous values can be checked by j minus minus. So this is how we need to write a logic for implementing the concept of insertion sort. This is a very simple logic. So here these parts are very easy, right? The first and the last one are easy. The only thing which you need to remember is the logic. So please try to learn the logic, and you can try to write in the exam. Right now, let me try to execute this code and check whether my logic is functioning properly or not. So here, enter the number of elements in the array. I am giving the number of elements as 5 elements. Let me take some random elements: 88, 33, 44, 7, 1. So these are the random elements. The elements sorted using insertion sort in ascending order are 1, 7, 33, 44, 88. So this is how the elements are getting sorted in the given list using insertion sort. Now let me run with another test case. Now let me give 4 numbers in the array. The 4 numbers in the array are 22, 11, 4 and 1. So these are the 4 elements which I have given in the array. Now let me trace this code and understand how this logic will work for insertion sort technique. The first thing which you need to remember over here is try to understand how the elements are stored in the given array. So in a given array, there are 4 blocks. In array of 0, we have the element 22. In array of 1, we have 11. In array of 2, we have 4. In array of 3, we have 1. So these are all the elements which are there in the array. Now try to perform the logic. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So I value initially it is 0. Now check the condition. Is 0 less than, what is the n value? 4. Is 0 less than 4? Condition is true. Once the condition is true, your control will enter into this particular for loop block. Now we need to execute this entire for loop block. Here we have j equal to I, which means now the j value is 0. Now within the while loop, we have a condition like is j greater than 0 and logical AND. So please try to recall if the first condition is false. If the first condition is false, followed by if a compiler is checking with the logical AND, then it will never check the next condition, because we know the condition of logical AND. If the one statement is false, then the conclusion of this result will be false, right? So this entire block will not get executed for the first iteration. Next, let me again increment I value by 1. Now I value is 1. J value is updated with 1. But first we need to check if I equal to 1, 1 less than 4, condition is true. That is I less than n. We need to check the condition, right? I less than n. So 1 less than 4, condition is true. Next, j equal to 1. J equal to 1. Now coming to the while loop, what we have as part of the while loop? In while loop, we have while j greater than 0. That is 1 greater than 0 and condition is true here. 1 is greater than 0, condition is true, and logical AND array of j minus 1. What is array of j minus 1? 1 minus 1. What is 1 minus 1? Array of 0. Array of 0 greater than array of j. What is the j value? 1. Now let us look into this particular condition. The first one, 1 is greater than 0 is true. 1 is greater than 0 is true. Next, array of j minus 1. What is array of j minus 1? Array of 0 minus, array of 1 minus 1 is 0. Array of 0 greater than array of 1. Now what we have in array of 0? We have the value as 22. And in array of 1, the value we have is 11. Now overall, if you take this, the condition is true. That is 22 is greater than 11, condition is true. True and true. So this part is true and the first part is also true. True and true. The condition is true. If the condition is true, now your control will enter into this while loop. In this while loop, we have temp equal to array of j. Now here we are going to perform the swapping logic. Temp equal to array of j. That is, we are going to store 11 in array of temp equal to array of j. Here we are going to store in temp, we are going to store the value as 11. Next, in array of j in the sense array of 1. Array of 1, we are storing the value of array of 0. What is the value of array of 0? Array of 0 value is 22. Now 22 is stored in array of 1. 22 is stored in array of 1. Next, array of j minus 1 is 0, right? J minus 1 is 0. That is, in array of j, that is array of 1, we stored the value as 22 of 0. Next, array of 0 equal to temp, that is 11. In array of 0, we are storing 11. I hope you understood this swapping logic. Okay. Array of j is stored in temp. Array of 1 is stored in temp, which means the value of 22, the value of 11 is stored in array of, the value of 11 is stored in temp. Next, the value of 22 is stored in array of 0. Next, array of 1. So I'll explain the logic once again. While j greater than 0, that is 1 greater than 0, condition is true, and array of 0, j minus 1 is 1 minus 1 is 0. Array of 0 is greater than array of 1. The condition is true. Once the condition is true, now we are going to process this logic of swapping. Temp equal to array of j. Now what is the value of j? Array of j, the value is 1. In array of 1, what is the value we have? 11. We have the value as 11. 11 we are going to store it in temp. 11 we are going to store it in temp. Now which is empty? Array of j minus array of j. Array of j is empty, right? That is, array of 1 is empty, in which we are going to store array of j minus 1. That is, 1 minus 1 value is 0. We are storing array of 0 value. So what is array of 0 value? 11. 11 we are going to store it in array of 1. Next, which is empty? Array of j minus 1. That is, array of 0 is empty, in which we are going to store this temporary value 11. So this is how we are going to swap the values.